For the 1,000.
And we are back. Football is back. And Phil Standish is on mute. He's on mute. Is he back? Is he not? Phil, can you hear us? Ground control to Major Tom.
I can hear you.
You hear
can
us?
You hear me?
Yes. 4 a.m. in the morning.
How
are you doing?
Am I on delay?
100%. We can hear you. Okay. How are you all doing? We welcome
good to see
the
you, mate.
preview.
I've seen you for a while. Yeah.
I'm not going to be here for long. I just kickstarted the show. I want to say good day to everyone because it's 4 a.m. The man has to sleep. But I'm going to add on to the stage as well. Botswana Puppy.
What's up, guys? Guess what, Phil? Guess what, Mick?
Yeah, what?
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
There is no more international breaks until March. Football is back.
Thank
yes.
God. And it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you in America as well.
Yes. We're feasting good over here in America. Big up to you guys, wherever you are, for joining us.
Well. And guess what?
Yes.
Guess what?
What?
No takeover, Gash. We're gonna talk here today. It's only football. Only football.
Yeah. That sounds fantastic.
So boring.
That's what I like.
It's become so boring. It's like, okay, it's gonna be announced today, Thanksgiving. Nothing happened. It's like what we said on the roast.
Exactly.
This Monday, next Monday, this Friday, next year, maybe ever.
Oh man, it's been such a long dragged out thing, but a full year we can do an anniversary for this transfer saga.
No. Listen, sometimes it's like
it's
this.
Embarrassing. It's a disgrace. That's what it is. A disgrace.
Disgrace. Oh,
crazy.
Look who joined us.
There's a disgrace coming in. Hey, the original four is here. Hey, Jarvis.
How are we all doing?
Oh, look
Fantastic
at him.
Four.
Disco. Yeah, Fantastic Four. Do you want me to stay for a while, or?
Four. So hit the like button 4 times if you can. Come on. Jarvis, can we get some sound, though? Are you here with us?
Sound language?
Jarvis! Your sound!
No sound? Uh-oh. Come back. Okay.
We could play charades.
Yes.
Name the team.
Yeah.
Good.
100%. Guys, thank you for tuning in. This is the preview, and we're going to shout out everyone that's in here. Actually, we got it.
2 words. 2 goals. Everton, Goodison Park. What is
close the shop?
What is Phil doing? Okay. 2 goals. Marcus Rashford form. Nana. Oh no.
Name that team.
Yes,
name that team.
Yeah. Big up Peter Hood for becoming a new YouTube member. Can we have a sound? Thank you, Peter, for
big shout out to you, Peter. Welcome.
Lillis was here first to say Lillis first, okay? Yali Malmin is here as well to say, I guess the big talk of the day, United banned from playing on the Champions League and Europa League if Nice finish higher up the table. Conference League, here we go, 100% what's going on there as well. And that is the talking point. But that is old news because that was already reported back in March, I believe. But that was the other way around when we were linked to Qatar as a state and say, what about PSG and all that? That was always been the case. The rules hasn't been changed. You know what I mean? But
just more recycled news with a different word, isn't it?
Just a different word. It's just, same story, but different shape. You know what I mean? Cool. Different face. Anyway, yeah, so big up Jolly Marine. And Ratman Singh is saying, what do you say? Next Manchester United Premier League ban, Jim Rat, no good for United. We're not going to talk about the takeover, Phil. We're done with that. Manchester United is finished. What people are saying here, we see. Stephanie Griffith saying, big up. Big up, Puppy. Big up, Phil, whatever you're saying. Guys, it's a little bit of a Thursday night chill. Definitely going to talk football. And whatever you're saying, Carlos, looks like Sly Jim have to sell the knees if we want to have a piece of Manchester United. Yeah, Poppy, you want a piece of that pie?
I want more than 25% of the pie. I want all the percent, all of it.
It's like you're going for the restaurant and order T-bone steak. You want T-bone steak. You're not going to go for 25% to eat that steak. You're going to have 100%, and you're going to walk away feeling fed and happy, aren't you? Yeah,
True.
And then
Very
comes
true.
the gravy and the dessert. Anyway, what happened to Jarvis? Jeez. Jeez. What are you drinking, Phil?
Oh.
Rushman give to
carrot and
Okay.
else and they're all
Major Tom.
Okay. Yeah. Listen.
Jarvis is.
Listen.
I think Jarvis
is
is sharing my Wi-Fi.
Okay. Listen, your Wi-Fi is like this.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Phil,
but mostly she.
Rushman with a good. Oh God, 20 memberships. Thank you, Rushman. Can we have a bomba for that one? And can you say the number, bro?
20 memberships. That's legendary, Rush. Big up to you, Rush. Real.
Yeah, I can't see because I'm not supposed to be here. It's for. Yeah. Anyway, for everyone, I cannot shout you out because I cannot see here. I don't have the screen. Big up Rushmano for gifting 20 memberships. Welcome to the family, everyone in the chat room. Thanks to Rushmano for gifting. And let's kick on the show. If you have the stats there, Jarvis, as well, who became a member, maybe we can just give them a little bit of a shout as well.
Yeah, okay. I will shout them out. Give me 2 seconds. We have new members. We have okay. I'm just gonna scroll up. We have Box, Sanjay, Alistair Dirks, Ashid Mia, William Connolly, Sophie Smith, King Stash, Abdi Cody, Ian Livesey, and Payush Bhagwandeen. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong.
Nope, that's okay.
Picking, and we have Lethal Styles and Arasant K and Lee Kennedy.
Fantastic. Big up to all of you. That deserves a big applause for you.
Incredible.
You got welcome to family. Anyway, guys, I don't know. I was not supposed to be here, but now I'm sitting here with the original 4. It's 4 a.m. where I am. I was supposed to be sleeping, but I've been working.
Ooh, the poetry in there. 4 a.m. Fantastic 4. Original 4. So we're probably going to win by 4-0 at Goodison Park. Yes. Is that what you're saying, Nick?
I don't know. Jarvis, what do you reckon? Yeah. Are we going straight into the score prediction and we're going to close the show? Or are we going to continue? No.
Save that for later.
Okay. Guys, what do you have installed for? Yeah, what do we have installed? What we're going to talk about? Of course, no takeover talk here today. We're only going to talk about football, and of course, we've seen some positive team news. I want to start off to say that congratulations, Everton Hag. You're finally getting your players back in. What the Ducks are coming home. Finally, the chicken's coming home to roost. We've seen that Luke Shaw has been touching grass. We've seen that Leach is touching grass, and what's going on in the Premier League that, other teams that are in top 4, they are actually getting their injuries, and we are getting back to a full squad. Can we finally see Everton Hag playing his first starting 11? Because he hasn't had the luxury to do so as yet. Round the table.
Not sure that Luke Shaw's going to start straight away.
I don't think so, but still.
It depends on the fitness of Reguilon. Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be great to, we're obviously Casemiro's out now. Kobe Mainu, hopefully we might get to see him. He was almost ready before the international break, so good to see him back. I reckon there's a good chance that we might see Mainu playing in Casemiro's place, with Ericsson being out as well. We might see the likes of Scott McTominay, who's been playing well again with Mainu. That could be a little
our leading goal scorer
shout that could happen. He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
And people still want to do him.
You froze. He frozen.
Is it just my Is it my Wi-Fi? It's everybody's Wi-Fi is all over the place
all.
today.
Is it my Wi-Fi?
No,
It's
he's
yours.
back. He's back. Phil is back.
Phil is back. Yeah, Phil, you're back. You're back. You're back.
It was backish, like
No,
standish.
he's frozen again. Standish. You're frozen.
No, I was just kidding. He's kidding. He's still here.
You gotta do something with your Wi-Fi. What's going on there? We're playing. One is muted. He's doing sign language. The other one's frozen.
It's not a good omen to start a preview like this when we're trying to do the Everton
Jarvis.
guys. We have to be connected. What's this with the connection?
It's 10 points deduction already, isn't it? The curse.
Right.
Jarvis.
Yes,
Should we
sir.
just do the score prediction and close the shop? Because I think there's going to be some more omens here.
Okay, Man United 1-0. Thank you for joining in.
Good night.
Hit the like before you go.
Okay, good night.
Who's your goal scorer before you go? Who's your goal scorer?
Okay,
Let's
Scott McTominay.
start over again. Yeah.
Okay, Scott McTominay is the leading goal scorer. He will score. Good night.
Now, but they're
jokes
going
aside.
back to business. It's going to be a serious game on Sunday. Everton will smell blood. They got deducted 10 points, and I believe they will be up for a fight. They want to revenge themselves and vindicate themselves, because I don't think the Everton fans feel that they deserve getting deducted 10 points. For a lot of football fans, it feels like nitpicking from FA. There was something about 20 millions. A little bit more over a couple of seasons, but it was their former owners, and now they get punished. And I feel a lot of people feel it's unfair, especially when you have teams like Chelsea and Manchester City, as obviously in broad daylight have been cheating, and no one has called them out for 10, 15 years. So this is not good, and I think they will be up for it. They want to have some vindication. So our players better be up for it, or as Jale mentioned in his comments, we will get the bloody nose.
Yeah, true. Phil, what do you reckon? Are you agreeing with what Jarvis is saying there? Should we be worried?
Yeah, I think well, the last few games I've kind of gone in with a little bit of a more of a cautious approach on our score, looking at like sort of 2, maybe 1-0, something like that. And I think again we could be in a very similar situation, low scoring game. I don't think you can go out guns blazing against Everton. They're not hurting in terms of they're afraid. The hurting is in they've got something to prove. And even though they've had a 10-point deduction, they're still not bottom of the league. So it shows that they were doing quite well. They've had some results recently. They've scored more goals than us recently. Overall, in the whole season, we've both got the same goal difference, but they've actually scored more than us, which is embarrassing, really. So we do need to start scoring. We know that, but where the goals are coming from, I just don't know. I mean, Rashford for internationals usually refreshes himself, comes back going, yeah, okay, got a goal, or he looked sharp. He looked just as rough for England. He was looking better before he went away, actually playing on the right. So it'll be interesting to see who Ten Hag starts with. I know we're not getting to that point just yet. We're on the right. That'll be an interesting point. I think that'll be one of the starting questions for in a short while. Yeah.
So Jarvis is going mental. I put a voting poll here. Please vote for background color Jarvis should have. He started with a disco lights, but I really love the blue one, actually, to be honest. Your favorite color is blue, so please, guys, let us know in the comments what do you reckon. Red one is what? Red one. Yeah. Maddie is saying red, of course.
We can't play blue. We can't have blue.
Nah.
Rainbow colors.
But I'm always wearing blue. I have blue shirts and blue t-shirts, and yeah. Sweaters.
I want to hear from you, Poppy. Are you worried about this Sunday games? Sunday.
So my here's how I'm viewing it. I'm excited that football is back. Round whatever, it's like match day 13. So, but when I look at how Everton has been doing this season at home, they haven't been that good. As what they've picked up more points away from home. So that factor is a little comforting. But when we look back at our head-to-head, let's just like look at our last 5 performances versus Everton. We played last time at Old Trafford. We beat them 2-0. We played again at Old Trafford FA Cup. We beat them 3-1. But at Goodison Park, the last time was on October 9th in 2022, and we lost. I mean, we won 2-1, and then the game prior to that we lost 1-0. So Goodison Park is actually, and the game prior to that was a draw. So this team is not going to be easy. It's got a little bit of a resemblance to the Fulham game, in my opinion, where it's that vintage, like not a walkover of a team in the Premier League, a team that is actually going to give you a fight where you have to really earn the point. And then both teams are averaging like about the same goals per match. It's just like 1.2 goals per match for Everton and 1.1 goals per match for Man United. So it's not going to be a high scoring game. Goodison Park is going to have the extra man from the stands because they have the banners ready, they have the chants ready. It's everybody, the world against Everton, and unfortunately we are part of the world.
I saw a little snippet, Papi. They were printing out this red flyers.
They have everything. They are ready. It's going to be an atmosphere, Mick. If our players are intimidated by that, it could, like Everton score first, then it's going to be a long 90 minutes or long rest of rest of the game.
But on the other hand, we haven't seen football for 2 weeks, so this is the great reset. So nobody really knows what the form is, right? Players been away on the internationals. We're coming back, and but
Everton's last 3 results. Everton's last 3.
Phil, what did you just say?
Yeah, Everton's last 3 Premier League results. You've West Ham. They beat West Ham away. They've drawn with Brighton at home, and they beat Crystal Palace away 3-2. But they're hitting a little bit of a running form based on how their season's gone so far. So it's they were already a little bit in terms of belief in the team, and now they've got extra things to fight for. This is going to be a tough game when we can't even score ourselves.
Okay. You're lagging a little bit, but until you fix it, we have an announcement to do here because Angie, you're a legend, you're a superstar, you're a legend.
Oh my God!
Angie just gifted 20 memberships. Angie, you know my feelings about you. You're the top member of this channel. You've been a member 5 months with MUC Realist TV, and you just gifted 20. Thank you so much, everyone in the VR room. Please, thanks Andy, not Andy, Angie. Sorry, Angie. Angie. So, Jarvis.
Yeah. Jarvis, can you hear me now? Is my microphone okay, or is it?
Yes, it's perfect. Your microphone is now fixed. Then just the field lagging question. The question is, who became a new member?
Oh, I will read them out. Okay, I have my reading glasses on, so I can try. Give it a try.
So we have reading problems, we have freezing problems, we have speaking problems. Oh my God!
Yeah, you gotta know I'm an old man. I don't have a 20/20 vision anymore. So we have Nick Wolf, we have Delia 300, we have Giuseppe, we have Paul Hogan, Dola Washa, we have Andrew Pitts, the big guy. The big guy. Yeah,
yes.
Nathan
that guy. Nathan as well.
Matthew Crowley. We have Umar Dorat. We have Leora WMSS Wims.
Laura.
Leham, Barry Parrington, Tyler Butler. We have Isam. We have Moham Sain and Andrew Brown. And the last one is Pop Too Many.
So
Pop too many.
welcome to the teams, everybody. Remember to thank Angie, and welcome to the MUFC Realist TV team.
Yep. Welcome to the family. It's like anyway, thank you so much, guys, for joining in. And we do apologize for the technical issues. What we do have, the technology sometimes cannot be always, with us, but at least the footballing gods has to be with us on Sunday. So I can feel the vibe is a little bit skeptical from you guys. Like, still feel that there might be that, not new manager bounce, but what do you call it, Papi? The relegation bounce or the 10 points
new allegation, new charge bounce, whatever. It's just a brand new feeling, that extra motivation layer that players feel and have, and that you cannot underestimate it. It's something that Everton players have access to tap into, and if they actually do, it can bring out the next gear to them. Remember what happened to Man City the moment 115 charges came in? They switched on to the next level, next gear. It was Pep Guardiola that sort of set the tone and was like, we're going to be focused on the football, about the stuff that we can control. And then you see a team performing really well. So I am a little bit skeptical and nervous about this.
I don't know, man. We will see what happens. Like, as I said, like, it feels like it was ages since we kicked a ball. Like, the international's been boring. There's a lot of things that's been going on, taking us away from thinking about even this game. But when you think about it, like, in terms of how we're going to line up, I also remember that, Jesus, a few days after the game, we actually have a Champions League as well. The most important game is the Galatasaray game, to be honest. So it's going to be interesting to hear how you guys are thinking, how we're going to line up based on the Champions League as well. What do we expect to see? Because, guys, remember, Marcus Rashford is suspended for the Champions League. He's not allowed to play, so he's going to red carded. Rasmus Højlund, is he available? Or will he be available for the Champions League? And you might start Rashford as a central striker. I want to hear from you guys. What's your thoughts and feelings? And also from the VR room, what do you think? Do you have feelings there in the VR room like these guys have? Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead, Phil.
There's different options available, isn't there? At the end of the day, there's different options available because, obviously, as you say, Højlund is 50-50 at the moment. I guess you might sort of see him in the sort of on the bench, maybe. I don't think he'll start him if he's a risk. And as you say, he's definitely going to need him for the Champions League because that is a crucial game. There's absolutely nothing. We've got to win that. It's simple as that. If we don't win it, it's game over, isn't it? But yeah, I think it's good to see some of the long-term injuries potentially back. I think when we look at the lineup in a short while, we'll be able to start to analyse it and think a little bit more about specifics. Because as you say, Rashford could play maybe centre forward. Maybe that just might be a chance, something a bit different. Put Garnacho on the left and Anthony on the right, something like that. You've got those options. Palistри's apparently took another knock while he's been away on international. So, you've got Martial, who probably is due a start if Højlund's injured. He's done well against Everton in the past, so he can do it. But it's Garnacho on the left, and Anthony's got to show all I think, because he's just 3 goals in a year and a half, something like that. Is just not acceptable at all. He's from his position, from the price tag he came with, for his ability that he's supposed to be showing. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game, but I'd rather go into it when we're looking at our current form and their form with a little bit more realism and come away sad and disappointed. I'd rather think this is going to be a tough battle, and if we get out of it with 3 points, be made up.
Yeah. No, 100%. Before we continue, I also want to shout out to one of our legends here in the VR room as well. Jesus, feels like we're having a birthday party here, guys. Like Luan Fran's married for 5 months. Big up, Luan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luan.
Well, you never know. I mean, I'm not concerned. I'm not worried. Or maybe it was just good to have this 2 weeks break, But if we looked at the overall, run of forms, if you look at the 5 latest games, we were the informed team in Premier League. Although we didn't play that great football, but we won 4 and lost 1. You know what I mean? And apparently, Onana is in the run for the Golden Glove. So
Yeah.
clean sheets. Jarvis,
Yeah,
talk
we'll
to
see
us.
about that. We'll see about that. I think Onana has had an okay season, but I don't think we have seen the best from him. And when we get our regular defense back, I think we will see a much better goalkeeper, and we will concede far less goals than we have been doing so far. So he will be even better. Who knows? Maybe he will win the Golden Globe when we are at the end of the season, if we get players back. And speaking of players back. Yes, who's back?
Who's back?
Who's back?
Luke Shaw. Luke.
Oh, we know that. It's the Shawshank Redemption.
I saw an interview today with Ten Hag. It was given yesterday, and in that interview, he said that Luke Shaw has been training with the team for 2 weeks, and he's available for the squad. So that means it tells me that he most likely will play and probably start. And that's very, very good news.
That's good. Guess who else is back?
Ooh.
Licha, the butcher. The Bermuda Triangle is back. He's back. And God,
He won't be back on the pitch yet. He's not really back in full team training, right?
No, but still it's a positive sign, because I say that the spine of that back four has always been Licha, to be honest, and we missed him. Boy, did we miss him. And I think, like the desert missed the rain, I think Rashford missed Luke Shaw. I think that it's clear and obvious. So maybe we will see Luke Shaw eventually when he hits the grass and the pitch. Then we might see a different Rashford. Who knows?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
My excitement about Luke Shaw, Jarvis, let me chime in real quick, is that he has this almost somewhat telepathic understanding between him and Rashford when Rashford is on the left. And you could also make a case that Rashford hasn't had a proper supporting he's been in bad form, but part of it is contributed by the fact that the left back that has been there hasn't been consistent. Sometimes it's Lindelof. We've seen sometimes it be Reguilon, sometimes Dalot. So that should sort of, the moment if we see Rashford on the left at all tomorrow, like I think we'll see some productivity when we see Luke Shaw in there. That chemistry, we've been missing that on our attack on the left side, and I'm excited to see that come alive again.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. But I also, when I talk about the Ten Hag interview, he mentioned that it's been too many players out, and he had to chop and change the team all the time, so he never gets the time to build relationships on the field. And if you can get Wan-Bissaka on the right and Luke Shaw on the left, and build a good relationship with Onana and with the centre backs, Maguire, and who else will play the left centre back? I don't know if it's Evans, Lindelof.
Can you believe it?
But I think it will be really helpful for the rest of the team.
100%. Because can you believe it? Ten Hag, the poor bugger, he hasn't had the opportunity to start his. Yeah.
Say again, Phil.
The thing is that the Wan-Bissaka and Johnny Evans are both reported to be out, injured again. Obviously, Johnny Evans, they're not sure if he's going to be back or not, because of his injury that we're aware of, and Wan-Bissaka's reportedly got a knock as well. So, it's going to be interesting. But I think you're talking by sort of Christmas time, we should have our full team back, and it'd be really good to see. We just need to keep up there. At the end of the day, we're only 7 points away from the top, which because of all the results, regardless of how it plays out, that's exactly what it is. That's where we are, where we're at. So suddenly it's not as bad as it seems because of other results. So let's just see what we can do.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't know that Wan-Bissaka injured again. He had some illness. That's the last. Was it today we heard the news?
Yeah, it was on
The only
injury
thing
room.
that I see on premierinjuries.com is currently being assessed 50% fever.
Let me have a quick look. Yeah, I'll have a look and let you know.
Okay.
I was just saying
that.
Yeah.
I was just saying, from my standpoint, is that I probably need to catch some sleep. What Angie's saying there, but I was just saying that at the end of the day, can you believe it that Ten Hag hasn't had the opportunity to even start his strongest 11 as of yet this season. So that's why I'm saying, I'm so excited to see at least players coming back, and we've seen the Spurs are dropping off to complain about injuries, Newcastle and everyone, and we should all collect money, donations to boost Phil's Wi-Fi. So guys, just have patience, because Phil has approximately 3 to 4 seconds delay. So we will pause now. Phil, can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh, that was 5 seconds. That's the solution. How we're going to fix it. We speak and then we wait.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, it's so lovely to meet you all. I'm going to go to sleep because it's 4:34. But before I go, I will give you my score prediction. Can I?
Yes, please do.
Guess what it's going to be?
4-0.
Oh, no. I'm going to go 3-1 United, as per usual.
Get out of here, man.
And my lineup is going to be Onana, and Onana back four, right? So he can play all the positions. So anyway, guys, listen, people, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please, these guys are cooking hard in this kitchen. And subscribe if you haven't. You know what? We will see you. I will see you guys on the match day, but I just came in to say hi, and I'm going to go to sleep because it's 4:30 in the morning. Big up to all of you. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Rushmano for big. We have 40 new squad members, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's Thanksgiving, so I want to wish everyone Thanksgiving, everyone. Good evening, good night, and have a good continuous stream, guys. Bye.
See you on the other side, mate. Good night.
Good night, brother. He made me realize that, Everton is the other team with the other Onana, but he's unfortunately injured at the moment. Amadou Onana
he might
has
be
a
back.
calf injury. Oh, it says the last report that I checked says he's still in that calf injury. He still says recovering from the calf injury. Yeah, Andre Gomez is another one, and I had forgotten they have Dele Alli.
Yeah, I know.
And
I think
Seamus Coleman. Say that again.
He's out for a while. Seamus Coleman's out for a while, so he's a really good player. But obviously, it's good. At the end of the day, we face it. No one's got a full team. We've got to turn up and play our own game, but it's always going to be tough. It's really going to be tough at Everton. It really is. Yeah, as Peter Day says, they've got Garner as well, and he's been playing well for them. He's starting to turn the screw a little bit, get the cogs working. Can you hear me a lot clearer now?
Actually, yes.
I hear you. On me.
Yes.
Yeah, but when it comes to injuries and Everton, I see. I don't know if this Amadou Onana. I think he's one of their best players. The tall, big midfielders. He's really good. He's apparently 25% chance of playing. He has a calf strain and a heel injury, or shin. I'm not quite sure. And he's currently being assessed. So if he misses the game, I think that's a good news for us because he's actually one of their absolute best players at the moment. What do you guys have you watched Onana play? And he's been linked to Man United several times, and I think we are watching him. He's a talented midfielder.
He certainly is. I really like him, and I thought we would look at him in the during the transfer window. But another player to mention from Everton is Tarkowski and Harrison, Jack Harrison. He's actually this season. He actually is the player with the most assists for Everton. He's got 3 assists in 6 matches, and that's not a bad return. For so we have to make sure that
Calvert-Lewin's back as well.
We also take care of Calvert-Lewin, exactly. And I think Harry Maguire has the assignment to put Calvert-Lewin in his pocket, and I think he can do it. I'm hopeful Harry Maguire will actually continue his good form. What do you guys think?
I think the thing is that we have to get a good result out of this, not just because of where we are in the league and because of form, but after Everton, we've got Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, Bournemouth at home, but then we've got Liverpool away and West Ham away. We've got a tough December, so we've got to get every point that we possibly can. I know that's an obvious statement, but at the end of the day, this is seen as one of the easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but one of the easier games based on position of the league. But that's the only thing I'm basing it on. Because I think it's always tough against Everton. They always put up a fight, and I think to get out of Everton with a win, I know it sounds an obvious, like a Michael Owen statement, but you've got to get goals, and that's what we're not getting at the moment. We're getting like one goal here and there. So unless we're going to find a way to start putting those chances away, creating chances, getting maybe 2 in the box instead of 1, we're going to struggle. So if we came out of there with a 1-0 win, I'll be happy again. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I agree. I see here the Hub Sports comes in and say, "Oh, have the mighty have fallen? We are now concerned about Everton players." Yeah, in a way, I'm actually a little bit worried about Onana. I think he's very good, and when it comes to Everton, as Phil mentioned in the beginning, their form at the moment, the last five games, they have won 3 games, and they won 1-0 against West Ham away and Crystal Palace away, and that's 2 really difficult games going to London and win. And they lost to Liverpool and they drew against Brighton and won 3-0 against Burnley. So they're actually in quite good form, even though they are struggling at the league table. They are second to last, I think, but that's because of the 10-point deduction. So they're not. It's not an easy game, and playing against Everton at Goodison Park, it's always been difficult for us. Even though we have a good record, we are. I think we are I think we are favorite. I would say in the game. I see the odds gives us 2.5 for a win and Everton 2.65. So we are a very, very small favorite for the game, but just a small favorite. So it can tip either way. And a player like Onana, if he's missing, that could be a crucial point for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, Everton are a tough side. But, I mean, who's going to get our goals? If we're talking 1, maybe 2 goals, something like that. I think we can. I think we can keep a clean sheet. I think what we've shown recently is that we're playing better football in terms of controlling the game. It might only be 1-0, and I know some people have been slating it, but we got turned over by City 3-0. We got turned over by Newcastle. We had to change our style of play. We had to get control of the game again because we didn't have it at all. So I was happy with 1-0 wins. It's nervy. Wasn't happy at the time, but was happy at the end of it. I felt that's what we needed. We needed a couple of clean sheets in a row. And I think Harry Maguire is playing really good. So yeah, I mean, Martial can he score? Garnacho, he's creating chances, but just not quite taking them. I think the problem we've got is the reason, somebody said how the mighty have fallen. The problem we've got is, we've got on paper goal scorers on the pitch, but in reality, no one is scoring. And is that because we're not creating chances, or is it because we're not taking our chances? I just don't know.
It's the latter. It's the latter, Phil. It's the chances have been created in the last 12 games. There have been moments where our forwards either they're too hesitant or taking that time too much. So it's just about that sharpness that I believe this Everton game is an opportunity for a lot of our forwards, especially Anthony. We're looking at you heavy. The person that I'm also, guys, I want to just make a bold crackhead prediction on is tomorrow, Sunday, we're going to see Mason Mount's first goal for Manchester United. That is my prediction. I know Jarvis is shaking his head saying, based on what? I think it just can't happen like this, that we go to game 13 again and Mason Mount and Anthony and our forwards are not registering that goal. They have to finish that dinner at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what you're saying to Hub Sports. Absolutely. At the end of the day, we're not clinical enough at the moment. And I think it's like a striker when he's on a goal drought, scores one, and then the rest will follow. And that's exactly what we need. I think we need a couple of players to get a goal. We need a 2 or a 3 goal, and people will start. If we get an early goal against Everton, and it's not lucky, it's a well worked, well played goal. And it's not ruled out by VAR or anything like that, because we are scoring, but we've had VAR against us as well. And hopefully VAR won't be the biggest point of conversation after the game. We are creating chances, as Papi said, but are we going to take them? We've got to go with the right hunger, because at the end of the day, we're getting to that point in the season where you've got to be in it or you're out of it. It's already there, sort of thing. We're already reaching December, and that's, people say that if you're in the top 4 by December, you've got a chance. I'm not saying we've got a chance to win the league at all, but what I mean is just a chance to keep up, get back up there, sort of things. We've dropped too many easy points this season, and we can't be having that again. We just got to keep our focus. That's one of our. We spoke in the last show about Dalot, a bit where he sort of loses focus around the sort of 70th minute mark, and that's my concern, because he plays quite well. Dalot, he creates some good clearances, gets forward, even gets some good shots off, but he just seems to lose his focus around about the 70th, 75th minute. And can you change a player because of the fact that he might not keep his focus again? It's a bit of a concern.
Yeah, it is.
Who do you think will be the key player of this?
For us?
Yeah.
I think Bruno will be the key player. Bruno has shown good form for Portugal this international period. I think he's starting to come back into form. If we can get Bruno going, we can actually get who's a striker. If it's Martial, Rashford, or Højlund starts as a striker, he can provide them. But the problem with Rooney, he's been now with Bruno, he's been trying too hard, I think, taking too much responsibility on his shoulders. He's not been in form. Now I think he's slowly coming back into form, and that will help out the team tremendously, because everything goes through Bruno. So for me, I think he will be the key player, and I want him to succeed. We need Bruno if we want to be back into the top 4 and fight for the Champions League spots, in my opinion. I just want to say, when it comes to Everton, this is the last team they had playing. Here it is, against West Ham, and as you can see, Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored again. He's back after being away from a terrible injury, and you have Onana, of course, he's not playing, but James Garner is playing. He's the old Man United player. He's been looking good this season. Finally, he has settled himself in the starting 11 of a Premier League club, and I think he have a bright future ahead. And actually, the player to look out for in this Everton team is their left back, Mykolenko. He's been extremely good this season. He's been scoring, I think it's 3 goals and a couple of assists. And he's actually one of the best left backs of the season so far, in my opinion. So we got to look out for him. So what do you guys think about this team?
I think you've got McNeil as well. Obviously, he's an academy, a previous academy player. And he has he's got a wicked foot on him. He can take quite a shot sometimes, and again, not with something to prove, he's well past that sort of thing. At the end of the day, Everton are playing well. Decore is in a little bit of form as well at the moment. Evan Nana is available. and the centre back as well. Braithwaite, absolutely fantastic. That young lad. Swedish Rumble, was it Swedish Rumble did something? I think that's read today. Swedish Rumble did something on him. It might have been Ethan Talk sort of thing. It might have been who did a bit of an analysis on him, saying how good a player he is, sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you know, you play against in the Premier League, and we said this in the last game. You know, you could look at Luton's lineup before they played Liverpool, and I was joking with my mate saying, how many because he's a Liverpool fan, how many are you going to claw back today, sort of thing. And at the end of the day, we've just got to remember we're in the Premier League, and every team has got a player who can do something special. And so we shouldn't underestimate anybody. I don't care which team it is or who you come up against. If they're in the Premier League, you're going to come up against you're going to have a tough game. You've got to be prepared properly, and we are creating chances. We're starting to show a few patterns of play, not too many because of the inconsistencies within the starting lineup. But once we start to see a regular lineup with some patterns forming, I really think we'll see those goals going in. And maybe the little break we've had, as we don't know what's been going on behind the scenes, what Ten Hag's been working on. We have to just hope that he's been working on some patterns of play, and we'll really see some goals coming in, because we really need them. We need a good game. We need a good win. I'd take 1-0 right now, but I'd love to see 2 or 3. Even if it was 3-1, I'd rather take a 3-1 than a 1-0 win.
This is the team that played against Luton in the last Premier League game before
you move away, Jarvis. Before you move away, I wanted to say I feel like we're actually going to see Ashley Young as opposed to the fullback that you that we had on the screen. I can't remember his name. Mikolenko. So it'll be Mikolenko will be on the left back, but on right back. Sorry, that's the position that I'm talking about. Who's the right back that you had on the screen again?
Patterson played the last game against West Ham.
Yeah, I think Patterson got a chance because versus Liverpool, Everton. Ashley Young had got a red card, so that's why Patterson was able to play. And then, but if you see the other game after that, when Ashley Young was available for selection, it's always Ashley Young versus Brighton. It was Ashley Young, and I think there's a high probability that it'll still be Ashley Young this game because he's well rested, he's got the experience, and he's somebody that can combine well with Jack Harrison. And as I said, like, Harrison is the assist threat for me from this Everton team. We have to make sure that our fullback, if it's going to be, I don't know if Luke Shaw will get to the Man United part, obviously, but whoever is going to be on our left back position has to make sure that they deal with Jack Harrison and Ashley Young well, you know. But go ahead. Yeah,
I see. You have a good point, and I haven't actually thought about that. But Ashley Young has a great cross, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's incredible good. His heading abilities, aerial abilities is his strongest attributes. So let's say we start, for example, Luke Shaw as one of the center backs. He will probably isolate Luke Shaw in the aerial duels. So that might give us some troubles. When it comes to that, if they will have a lot of crosses, actually he should start Johnny Evans or Varane besides Harry Maguire, because those two guys know how to head the ball and clear it when it's in dangerous areas. So I think Ten Hag has a lot of things you got to think of before this game. But I think the defensive work of our wingers will be important to stop Mikolenko and Ashley Young, actually. So I don't see him starting Garnacho and Pilestri, for example, on each wing. I think we need a more balanced team. For example, Anthony playing on the right to stop their left side, for example.
Yeah. We could start Rashford on the right. Why don't we go to? Do you want to bring the team build?
Yeah.
the lineup 11 and we can put a team together?
Yeah, I can bring it up. Give me 2 seconds. But this is actually the team we played
VAR,
against.
if you want to let us know your thoughts on who you think you start in 11 will be, let us know. Drop it in the chat, and we'll put some of them on the screen. Let us see what we think, see what the common thoughts are of it. So share your thoughts in the VAR room, and we'll post those. So, Pappy, I'll let you start. Who do you think will be in nets?
So I am obviously looking at the fact that Rashford. First of all, Rasmus Højlund had an injury, so it makes sense to ease him back in. So if he's available for selection, you put him in the second half. So I think on the left-hand side, are we starting with goalkeeper? Where are we starting? Goalkeeper. Onana, obviously.
Onana is
all right.
Yeah, start with goalkeeper.
Yeah, Onana. Let's start with Andre Onana.
Yeah, he'll be back Onana.
Yeah. Thankfully, he survived that injury scare over the international break. So, and then right back, we know Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been good to see you back. Wan-Bissaka, Spider-Man should be there.
I think he'll make it.
And then this is where it gets interesting now, because Harry Maguire obviously deserves to continue his run of form, and I believe Ten Hag likes him on that right center back position. Yeah. And
right
then
center back, Harry Maguire.
Yes. So that left center back position, I believe it's too soon to rush Luke Shaw in, even though he's been practicing. He's been training for 2 weeks. I think Ten Hag is gonna go with Johnny Evans in there, or Lindelof, partner Harry Maguire. Even though the point that Jarvis raised earlier on, it's just like we have to make sure we nullify all aerial threats, and that's Dominic Calvert-Lewin's speciality right there. So having two big center backs would make sense. Having Johnny Evans in there on left center back would make sense.
Yeah, I agree, Poppy. I think the partnership of Maguire and Evans has actually been quite good. So I would trust those two guys to play, and I don't think Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a threat when it comes to pace and threatening the back room of behind them. So yeah, I would be quite confident that Evans starts if he's injury free. I see Jarle Malmin brings up a question mark: is Evans injured? That we don't know, but we will find out.
I think it was saying on injury room that he was injured.
Okay.
If he is, then I'm hesitant, but I feel like it might be Lindelof then, and then Reguilon at left back.
Yeah, the question mark is if Evans is injured, we have actually just Varane and Lindelof. And of course, we have Luke Shaw as left center back. So that's the question. Who would you start?
I would go Luke Shaw. But
I'd like to see Luke Shaw back. If he's been training for 2 weeks, that's enough time to be training.
That's enough time.
And who knows?
I agree with you.
You've got to be. He's a professional at the end of the
day. Okay, I agree. Let's just put in Luke Shaw here.
But Ten Hag is gonna go Lindelof. If anyway, we'll see. So we got Luke Shaw, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and left back will be, in my opinion, Reguilon.
I think he'll go Dalot.
Ooh.
If he plays Shaw at left centre back, I think he'll go Dalot.
Yeah.
Because I think Reguilon and Shaw are too similar in terms of the way that they play and try and get up the wing. And I mean, I know Dalot does, but Dalot being the sort of taller, we've already spoke about the sort of aerial presence and the crossing balls and stuff. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Dalot or Reguilon. I think if he plays Shaw, he'll start Dalot.
Okay. What's Jarvis thinking?
Yeah, the thing with the Everton's right side with Harrison and Ashley Young, I think it scares me a little bit. I wouldn't start with Reguilon and Garnacho or Rashford on the left. I think we will be extremely weak defensively on our left side against their strong right side. So for me, I would actually go with Luke Shaw on left back and play Varane or Lindelof like at central. I think that will make more sense in the total of the team, because Luke Shaw is better defensively. And if Luke Shaw starts as the left center back, I would go Dalot, because Dalot is a little bit better defensively, even though he had a howler of a game, a really bad game against Copenhagen. He loses his position, he loses his focus and concentration, and he didn't defend his back post 2 times against Copenhagen. So yeah, but hopefully he have learned and will get his focus back with 2 weeks rest. So
I agree with
if it's between Reguilon and Dalot, I would choose
Dalot. I was saying about Luke Shaw.
Yeah, good point from Mark. He doesn't have the fitness to run as a left back. Yeah, so it's better to ease him in as a left center back.
Yeah,
and in my opinion, oh, Phil, lend your opinion. Sorry.
No, I was just saying I completely agree with Mark. That's what I was saying. I said if he's going to come back, if he is going to start the game, I think he's more chance of starting left centre back than left back, where he can sort of stay back a little bit and not running up and down, tracking both sides. I think that'll give him the best chance to, and it gives us a bit of height.
Oh. Okay. There he went. But Jarvis, the point that I was gonna bring forth is Reguilon started versus Luton Town, and we got a clean sheet. What did Reguilon do to not deserve to start again? It's just a simple question. We know Dalot is right now fell down the pecking order a little bit because his performance was not particularly, that impressive, versus Copenhagen, So all I'm just saying is Reguilon was part of the team that led to a clean sheet versus Luton Town. Why can Reguilon not start again?
Yeah, I see you have some support from the VAR room. The Hub Sports say spot on, Papi. He agrees with you, Reguilon on the left back. So you can just send him a check and he will be happy. Matty R also say 100%, and Mark says exactly. So yeah, the VAR room agrees with you. So yeah, I think we should then start. Oh, here comes one for Dalot. Riot. Oh, you have the controls, Phil. Sorry.
So no, it's all right. We both hit it at the same time. Yeah, so Riot saying Dalot left back. Scotty saying what happened to Varane. I think the thing is, obviously, with Varane, there's a lot going on in the media at the moment. We don't know what to believe. We don't know what's true. But he's obviously not happy the fact that he hasn't been picked for certain games, apparently against City and everything else. So he might have spat his dummy out a little bit. And the thing is, for me, when he has come on, he's not looked sharp. And whether he needs minutes, I don't know, to get his fitness back, or he's just can't be bothered and he's seen a January exit to Dubai or something. I don't know. If he is fit and he's Champions League Varane, who we thought we bought and it'd be fantastic, then yeah, put him in. But at the end of the day, I think you're not going to play Varane. The thing is, to play Varane, you've got to put him on the right centre back, which weakens Maguire, who's playing quite well at the moment. And I think that's the risk that Ten Hag's trying to weigh up. At the moment, Maguire's in a better form than Varane, which is a bit crazy to say, but that's exactly where he's at. And if you put Maguire on the left, he doesn't seem to play as well. And I think Ten Hag's learned that. And so I think he'll start Maguire over him.
Yeah, I think you have a good point. I also saw the interview with Ten Hag earlier, and he addressed that issue. The reporter asked him, "What about Varane?" And he said that there's a competition. There's always competition in a big team like Man United, and at the moment, Maguire plays better than him, and he wants he wants a center back on the left who has a natural left foot, who can play with his foot natural on the left side, because it creates better angles going forward, he told. And he speaks about dragging out, playing with the 3-back line when we are building up, and then he has better angles to hit centrally into, for example, Bruno. So I think Ten Hag values that very much. So I can't see him starting Varane at the left center back.
Zoe's media house have gone with something completely different and said Shaw, Lindelof, Varane, Wan-Bissaka. Interesting. I don't think we'll see Varane over Maguire. I just can't see it.
At the moment.
Yeah. So do we agree on this back five, or should we swap Dalot for Reguilon?
Is this the team that we would go with, or the team that Ten Hag is probably gonna go with?
It's our team.
Our team. I like Dalot in there. And I like Shaw in there as well.
Yeah, I think yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Okay. Then this is it. Now go to the midfield. Should we start right, left, 6, 8, 10?
Ooh.
So the number
Scott
6
McTominay is gonna be in there. I'll make it easier. McSauce
just thinking actually, has Reguilon been playing internationals? He's not, has he?
No,
I doubt it.
So he might start Reguilon. He might start Reguilon over Dalot then, because he's rested and Dalot's been away, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Just if you want some fresh legs against Everton as well, so it might just be worth considering that.
The same rest that Ashley Young has had is the same rest that Reguilon has had. So it's like it makes
looking at the VAR room. The VAR room are asking for Reguilon. So let's take on board what they're saying and let's go with Reguilon.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, sold. Reguilon. Midfield, McTominay, and who will play besides McTominay? We have Amrabat, we have Mainu, we have Hannibal. Eriksen is out with an injury. Same with Casemiro. So for me, we have those three options, or of course Mason Mount. So Amrabat, Mount, Mainu, or Hannibal.
Phil, you want to go first?
No, I think with Mainu, and we'd love to see Mainu back. I think the problem you've got is McTominay is on form at the moment, not just with goals. He's one of Ten Hag's starting. So I think I don't think starting McTominay and Mainu together is the right decision, because they're too more focused on controlling at the back. And I think we know we need goals from this. We've got to try and get someone who plays a little bit more of that forward play. And I think it needs to be more, possibly a Mount, because we're looking for that through ball, that break of play. And if you're going to start Mainu, then he probably won't start McTominay, but I think he will start McTominay. So I think you probably he might surprise and go with Amrabat. I don't know, but I think McTominay and Mount to give a little bit of balance. I'd quite like to see that.
Papi?
For me, Phil, McTominay and Mount give imbalance, which is the opposite, and I feel like he will probably opt to go with McTominay and Amrabat. Just because right now it's all about having physicality, having that person who's comfortable enough to receive the ball from the defenders if Everton try at all to press us high. So I feel like that role is going to be interchanged between McTominay and Amrabat. If you just let McTominay play that role, and Mount is not the type of player that's really like. It's funny because on paper you'd think like he's good in tight spaces, but if he receives a ball from Harry Maguire and there's two people surrounding him, Mount is going to lose that ball and claim for a foul, and then Everton is going to score quickly. So I feel like Amrabat brings that physicality and a little bit of balance. When McTominay decides to hide from the ball, Amrabat will not shy away. He will try and create that passing lane and always, make himself available. So I feel like that's the midfield triangle: Bruno, McTominay, and Amrabat.
Okay. Yeah, I think also that will bring a better balance. If it was up to me, I think it's time to give Mainu a chance. I think he's really good, but maybe we should wait until we play at home, because the extra security of the home crowd, is a young player. So maybe it's not time yet to chuck him in against Everton on Goodison Park, smelling blood. So, Amrabat, Mason Mount.
Yes,
it's a tough one because we are away. I would choose Amrabat. Yeah, and maybe these 2 weeks has been good for Amrabat. Maybe he will.
Mm-hmm.
Did he play for Morocco?
I am not sure about that actually. If he played, he did not sustain any injuries like last time when he had the injury scare. So Morocco played versus Tanzania like 2 days ago, and in the lineup, Amrabat was playing. He got a yellow card. Yes, he was playing.
Okay, so he's match fit then.
So he's match fit.
Then I will go with Amrabat then. Amrabat for me. What is the VAR room saying, Phil?
I've been posting them all up. So we've got few people saying Amrabat. There's a few comments about here's one from Zoe. That midfield makes me miss Pogba and Fred.
Zoe. True.
So McTominay, Mount, Mainu, McTominay, Amrabat, Bruno.
Crap.
Bruno, Mount.
Come on.
Milos.
McTominay, Bruno, and Amrabat.
I see a lot of people say, some say drop Bruno in the VAR chat. Should we just go and have a discussion about the number 10? Or
it's an uncomfortable one. Let's talk about it. Why drop Bruno? I'm curious.
We don't want to see him on the right wing.
No.
Who wants to drop Bruno though?
Oh, here we go then. Should we put a curveball in? Let's keep Bruno there. Here's a twist. Put Mount on the right wing, Garnacho on the left, and Rashford up front.
That's a new experiment that I'm resistant to go with, Phil, because Ten Hag would rather put Anthony on the right than Mount. He'd rather go Pellistri on the right. He'd rather go Rashford on the right than Mount. I haven't seen enough Mount on the right for Man United.
Rashford was playing well on the right.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying Rashford is ahead of Mason Mount on the right-hand side in the pecking order. So we'll probably see, if anything, Bruno would probably go on the right, and then Ten Hag would put in another, maybe if Mason Mount has to be in this team, Mason Mount is going to go where Bruno is, and Bruno will play on the right.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that.
I don't like Bruno on the right. It's not so much that we lose out with Bruno that he plays bad, but we lose out with the right winger.
Better there.
Sorry, say again, Phil.
Yeah, put Rashford on the right. I agree. I will put Rashford on the right. I agree.
Rashford then.
You said you'll put no, sorry, I didn't want you to repeat it the third time. Sorry.
I will put Rashford on the right. I agree.
Oh, so he did say. Okay, so who's going striker then?
Yeah, who will be at the left? I think we
left.
can.
Okay, let's go left first. All
Garnacho.
right.
We have Garnacho.
Garnacho. Yeah. Garnacho.
No T in Garnacho.
Yeah, there we are.
I would put Rashford
Okay,
on the right.
Garnacho.
So who
Okay,
is it going to be? Last man? Who is going to be up front?
Well, we don't have many options if Højlund is injured. The option we have is
Imagine Jadon Sancho comes. No, okay, that's too much. Too much imagination.
So the Hub Sports is asking why can't he start Pellistri? Well, believe it or not, he's apparently he's took a knock. He's took a knock internationals. Pellistri, another injury.
another injury. Oh,
So it's going to have to
Not
be
good.
Martial, I think.
but can we trust Martial starting? You know, he's not fit at all. We know that if he plays more than 15 minutes, he's in the red zone when it comes to injury risk. And yeah,
Did you say 15 minutes?
This is a tough
15
one.
minutes. I think that's his limit.
1-5.
Yeah, 1-5.
It's worrying that, isn't it?
The 15-minute man.
Ivo Bosic comes in and says Sancho was the false nine. Yeah, I don't think that will happen. And then Matty
That's
Arnold
with the
in and
disguise to
say
get on that pitch.
Martial for 20 minutes.
But on that topic,
Sancho
by the
coming
way,
with a
if at all Ten Hag was going to try and play with a false nine, which player would he pick for that false nine position if it's not Martial? Just curious what you guys think. We know he tried it with Sancho in preseason. You know, Sancho was playing the false nine position for most of preseason, and then from there, you know, we just haven't seen that system again being deployed in the Premier League. But we know Ten Hag is capable of bringing a new something that we're not, expecting. So the question that I'm putting forth is, which player would play that false nine position for Ten Hag from the players we have right now?
Yeah, Phil.
I'm not sure. You just think of all the injuries that you've got at the moment, and I actually think Højlund could be back. You know, he was running on, he was training, he was running. Running's always a good sign. He could make it. I think if he's fit, he'll definitely start him because he makes such a difference. And going up against the big players of Everton, he's made of glass because I think he'll just shatter.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat, Peter said McTominay, maybe McTominay as a false nine.
Yeah, but actually that's a realistic shout. McTominay could actually play as a striker. I don't see it happening, but he's at least a backup plan for Ten Hag if Martial gets injured and Højlund is injured. McTominay is, I think, his third choice maybe. If Rashford will probably be. So if we don't trust Martial, we have to drop Rashford and put Rashford in the 9.
Yeah.
So this is the alternative, I believe, and then we have Anthony on the right.
Anthony on the right. That's actually the lineup
on the right wall,
that I think we'll see. Yeah. That makes more
Do you
sense.
think this is better? Is it more balanced?
Yeah.
I don't know about balance.
I think the problem we've got is we don't trust Anthony at the moment. That's the problem. We don't trust Anthony to score. We don't trust Rashford to score. We don't trust anyone to score. Let's be honest. Unless McTominay is on the pitch, no one's going to score, or Maguire, of course. So it's about time for a change. So let's, you've got to get behind your team, and whoever starts, I'll be bigging them all away and hoping that every cross that they put in is successful, and every corner beats the first man. And free kicks are on target, and through balls don't get intercepted, and passes are direct. At the end of the day, if we control the game, we can score goals. We just got to do it. And maybe Rashford is centre forward. If Højlund is out, then it might just be the break that he needs, playing in that central position and getting a glimpse of his, the ball bounce off his backside or his knee or his elbow, some back of his head or anything that's just going to break that duck and just take that little bit of pressure off. Might be what he needs. Who knows? And maybe Anthony with the assist.
Right.
Yeah. My thoughts is with this team. When we had Rashford on the right, I don't see it playing Rashford on the right if we have Martial as number 9, because Martial is no aerial ability threat when it comes to scoring goals. So getting a right-footed crosses from Rashford on the right is wouldn't work at all. So I think the thing is though,
Jarvis, against the Everton centre backs, I don't think you want to be trying to put crosses in. We're not great at winning crosses in the air. We're not great at putting them in, and we're not great at winning them. We need to play football, play through the middle, play drop the shoulder, come in from the wings, get a shot off, that kind of thing. I don't think we'll be putting too many crosses in as high crosses sort of thing. So I don't think that'll make too much difference. But yeah. Oh, sorry, Mark saying I'm telling you, Kobe starts ahead of Amrabat. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Tomorrow, you agree that Maino is going to start tomorrow next to Amrabat, Phil?
No, instead of Amrabat.
Oh, instead of Amrabat. But Mark is saying Kobe Maino starts next to Amrabat. Watch and see. This is a big proclamation from Mark.
Yeah,
we will revisit this when the lineup comes out, Mark. This moment, we gotta make sure we bookmark it. I'm telling you, Kobe Maino is not starting tomorrow. Midfield looks like, on Sunday. Sorry, why do I keep saying tomorrow? I really want the Premier League to be back so quickly, guys.
I want it to be a little bit longer to give our injured players another day to recover.
Nah.
we could do with a Monday night football this week.
Also, Phil, when are we gonna have the Donny van de Beek conversation? Why is he not even in this? Is he registered to play? He's registered.
Nah, his bags he's gone, hasn't he? He doesn't even sit on the sidelines anymore, I don't think. I feel sorry for him, because whatever happens, at the end of the day, it's the kid's football career. And I think he tried to go on loan. I don't know whether I can't remember whether he's reported to have turned the loan down when he had the opportunity, or United said no. And I hope
from Real Sociedad, yes.
I hope for his sake it was him who turned them down rather than United. Because if it was him, then he's made a big mistake. It's a shame, because we saw that he had moments of brilliance, but he just didn't get the chance. So when he came on, he did, well, I say brilliance of good play. He did well for us when he came on. Got amongst the goal, right on the goal line, was putting a threat in, closing the players down, if you can remember back that far. But he's just not had his chance for whatever reason. We've got the same situation with Mount. Fernandes has got that spot which Donny wants, which Mount wants. It's that same position that they all play in. So I think that is part of the problem. But Donny's not going to get in ahead of Bruno, and now Mount's been bought in. There's no way that Donny's done any, unfortunately.
Donny's done.
I think we've got what we've got with this team is we've got players who can, on their day, with the right mentality, they can score and create goals. And we've also got a little bit of steel at the back that can break the attack up, because that is Everton's style of play. And if Garner comes up against the likes of Amrabat and McTominay, I think he'll probably get a bit crunched if that's the sort of style that if that's the sort of lineup they're going to go with.
Yeah.
I'd like to see.
I think this is more likely when the more I see, because McTominay's biggest problem, this season he's been good on the deep runs. He's plays in the 10. We tries the high recovery and we succeed because he's a good press player. Maybe this is more likely, I think. And I see the connection with Bruno and Amrabat is much better than with Amrabat and McTominay, because Amrabat, he likes to play on the 1-2s and one touch football, and I see McTominay, he can't even play 5-touch football because his technique is so bad. So I see McTominay and Amrabat is not a good partnership or mix for me. So actually McTominay in the 10, I think maybe will be better. Thoughts on that, Poppy?
McTominay in the 10 will definitely be better because he's the player that seems to be able to find the back of the net for us. And hopefully we're rubbing off of the, he always picks up form in international break and comes back with a little bit of an aura. So maybe he can offer us something. I actually see the situation that you're describing a lot more clearer, Jarvis. I see Bruno receiving the ball, interchanging with Amrabat to receive the ball from Maguire and whoever the left center back will be. And I don't think it'll be Shaw, but if it is, this is a great way for us to try and progress the ball forward at Goodison Park from a team that will be happy to let us have the ball a lot and let us sort of dictate what we want. But we still, at the end of the day, we need that physicality, because this game can be decided by set pieces, by a long free kick. And McTominay has the aerial presence to be able to give us that extra layer of defense when we are in a moment where we're conceding a long free kick and we have to be defensive. And the moment where maybe say Bruno is about to deliver a long free kick that say Anthony won, if Anthony wins with a free kick, So I feel like McTominay will be a great aerial addition, because Everton, this Goodison Park vibe feels like it's going to be very, very, very aggressive and physical type of game. So we need players that can impose themselves like McTominay.
I also think that, and another thing that we have to talk about is the Galatasaray game. We play Sunday and the Champions League away in Istanbul. It's not going to be easy. It's a must-win game. Should we rest some of our best players for the Champions League game?
I think this game is more important.
And I'll tell you the reason I don't think you can.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yes, the reason I don't think. Sorry, I didn't mean. It was me delay. I didn't interrupt. I think the reason we've got to make this a priority. And the reason being is because I don't believe with the squad that we've got at the moment that we can win the Champions League. So yeah, it's good to go a little bit further so that you don't go out in the first round. But I think you can only kind of put all your eggs in that basket if you really believe that you can win it. And right now, I don't think we can. I think the most important thing is to progress up the league, be successful there. And if great, if we do well in the Champions League, we beat Galatasaray, we can do. And we should be able to. But at the end of the day, I think we've got to look at each game as it comes. You don't look ahead too far. If you've got a big game coming up, you don't rest all your players, because if you lose 6 points on the way, what good's that? Absolute pointless. So I think at the end of the day, you've got to just play your best team that's available. We haven't got a lot available, we know that. But I think you've got to start your best team available. You don't rest players, not at all. And I don't like if you're going to play Bruno, in my opinion, if you're going to play Bruno so deep, you might as well put Mount up front, because everyone was saying before that Mount is better in that position further forward. But I don't think we should play Bruno so deep. I think he's wasted. When you look at when you look at Bruno's stats for the last few games, is running is the greatest stats on the pitch sort of thing. And I think if you see Bruno running all over the place like headless chicken, you're going to have gaps at the back, which is a bigger risk. Whereas if he's running at the front, he's more chance of ruining their defence, helping us to when you think back to some of the best United sides that we've seen, you can go back to like Rooney and Ronaldo and Van Nistelrooy, and I don't know. What we had was a lot of interchange. You'd see them start in a position, but then they'd be like all over the pitch. They were left wing, then they were right wing, then they were centre forward, and they were moving. So nobody knew to mark. With the current United team, if you see someone going from the left to the right, it's obvious they've made a swap and they're just staying there for a bit longer to try it to see if something works. But you need that interchange. You need so the defence can't man mark and follow that one person. And we need a lot more movement across the front four. And I think this as you've got it now, looks a stronger front four with a quite solid back five, and two bits of steel just in front. So I think if you're playing McTominay will definitely get forward in moments, but I think this will be more like your starting lineup. But again, Mainu over Amrabat.
Okay. So you go for Mainu.
I would. I've not been impressed with Amrabat yet. I've not seen anything great from him. He gives free kicks away. We've seen yellow cards. He's too risky for me. He's too much of a concern. A little bit of a Hannibal in him. He's not got the control that he needs for the Premier League yet, or he's not shown it. So for me, he's too much of a risk, and I'd rather see Mainu who's that talent that we were all gutted about when he got injured. And if he's back, let's go for it. You've got to start him some point.
The thing with Amrabat is, I think he's more of a passer. He likes to pass the ball, and he expects he's used to the Italian way of style. To play on the bounce and the 1-2s, and playing with Bruno always on the half turn, trying to turn with the ball and play it forward. He never gives it an easy back pass when it comes from Amrabat. And I also see the problems with McTominay also being able to play the simple football that Amrabat wants. So we saw it when Amrabat played in the League Cup against Crystal Palace. We had different type of players in the midfield. We had Mason Mount, we had Hannibal and Amrabat, and Amrabat was actually left back, but he tucked into the middle and inverted and played as a midfielder that game. And then we could see how to utilize him at his best. But when we play with Bruno and McTominay, I'm not sure that my Amrabat will fit into that, especially at the moment. I don't think our players quite understand how to play with Amrabat. He's kind of a different type of player, and he hasn't hit his form yet. We didn't have no preseasons. It's got to be said, no preseason. He just came back from an injury. He was tucked in to play left back. So I don't think we should judge him yet on his performances. I think he has a high potential, and I believe he will come good if he get a run of games.
I just want to echo that, Jarvis, and say Amrabat needs a run of games. If he can get the same kind of sequence of games where he's able to establish a little bit of chemistry with two regulars in that midfield triangle, we'll actually start seeing a better Amrabat. I remember the game. I think it might have been versus Fulham, where there was moments where I actually saw some chemistry building between Amrabat and when Mason Mount came in as a sub. I can't remember the actual game off the top of my head, but there was doing some actually really, really remarkable passing sequences that you would see in training, and you're like, that's what you want. And for me, the whole point is Amrabat needs to get a chance where he's starting at least 3 or 4 games running with the same sort of supporting cast, and we are actually going to see a different type of player, because he's not one of those players who's going to carry the whole team by himself. He's a system player who if the system allows him to show his attributes, he can actually shine, because his physicality, there's been moments where I've seen our midfield frailing and not winning duels. Ground duels, aerial duels were not, and Amrabat was one of the few standout players who was actually showing a little bit of fight, a little bit of like, you're not going to take this ball from me. I'm going to drive a little bit, get past these 2 players and give the ball to a forward. And that type of mentality, we need that kind of player on a midfield. So he needs to get a chance to run a few games, 3-4 games running.
Okay,
We'll see
the best of
Amrabat. Yeah.
We'll lock this in then as it is.
Yep. I see this question from Zoe Media House. Why can't we ever drop Bruno? Does he have a clause in his contract that no manager can drop him? Ten Hag has tried every midfield combination except dropping Bruno. Why won't Ten Hag act on this?
That's our captain. Go ahead.
Apart from the fact that he's a captain, I mean, obviously last season we saw that Maguire was dropped a lot, whether he was captain or not. So whilst I agree he's captain and that does have some.
Just like that, he got cut off.
Come back again, Phil. Yeah. So what do you think? Why can't Bruno be dropped?
So for me, Bruno really, he's one of those players that you sort of build a team around. He's somebody that you won't just, if you drop him because you're trying to refresh him. You're trying to Phil is back. You can continue on your opinion, on your point, and then I will lend my point on why Bruno hasn't been dropped.
It's this button here. I keep catching the button on my mouse, and it's a back button, and it just ejects me out the show. So I'm trying to leave my mouse alone. It's like, it wasn't a Wi-Fi issue with my mouse. And eject the seat. Phil, get out. I don't want that opinion.
Why hasn't Ten Hag pressed that button on Bruno, Phil? Why has he not pressed it?
For me, because when the team aren't scoring, he's doing all the running, and I know you can say you can run around all day, but he's doing something. He's bringing something to the team. The teams give up. He's the one who's tracking back, defending, throwing in a tackle at left back, right back, just in front of the defence. Then he's trying to run forward, trying to score a goal, trying to play a ball. And we know that so many of his passes are overhit at the moment, but so's the rest of the team. So I agree with Mark. At the moment, and when you look at his statistics as well, 10 goals, 10 assists for Portugal, but it's still the same player. So we know what he can bring. We know that when you look, the balls, we've said right throughout the show, the opportunities are coming in to the forward players, and we're just not taking them. So Bruno, for me, is a key point to that play.
Key player, key point, and I think when as I started building my argument on the fact that he's the captain but he's the general, he actually is one of those players that sometimes when the game is going against you, when the tide is against you, you've seen him sort of like become that player who tries to motivate his teammates as well. He tries to also like fight with the referee. Some people, as a fan, you may not like that, but sometimes that's a tactic that can sometimes work for you if it's one of those marginal calls where the referee knows that, oh, this person has been complaining so much and they're going to come complaining at me again on this marginal call. It can easily sway some, not all, but some referees maybe into another direction. And Bruno has actually talked about this as an instigating tactic that he has tried to employ purposely. You know, he's like, I know I'm labeled as a serial complainer and whining, but like this is something that, you know, has actually brought success in different moments. So he put that aside. These moments where these games where he's tried too many Hollywood passes. It's almost like a terrorist football. It's like he's the one who's gifting possession the most. But we have to look back at the fact that he is usually playing a position where he's being asked to be the most what's the word? To be the player who takes the most risk averse passes. You can't have every player in. Go ahead, Phil.
Can I ask you a question? So I don't like to do this, but as a point, because the VAR is going crazy about Bruno. If you put Bruno in City midfield, he's going to get lots of assists because there's people who can score goals. He can play the ball, he can play the pass, and I just think at the end of the day, it's our forward players who are not finishing off the opportunities. So I'm going to make a specific thing to watch him this weekend and just see how many through balls he gets. I'm going to look for some stats off what's his name? I forgot his name on Stats United sort of thing on social media, and just see what back at the end of it, because Statman Dave, that's the one. Yeah, that's it. So at the end of the day, he would. Ivo Bosic is saying he wouldn't make the City midfield ever. I'm not saying he would or he wouldn't. What I'm saying is, if you put him in that midfield, he'll get your statistics, because he does it for Portugal when he's got the right players. We're finishing it off. So at the end of the day, keep him in our midfield because he is creating chances and giving opportunities to others to score the goals.
Not only just that, Phil. Like I was trying to lend the point of, like, say you are drawing right now. Bruno has had a stinker of a game. It's the 80-something minute in the match, and you as a fan, you're wondering, why is Bruno still on the pitch? I'll tell you exactly why. Because if you get a penalty, there's only one player in that squad who 8 out of 10 times you're guaranteed that ball is going in the back of the net, and that's Bruno Fernandes.
Okay.
Who
I think
else?
you made a good case for Bruno. Yeah. The problem with Bruno is he plays with too high of a risk. So to utilize Bruno at his best at the current team, we need 2 extra midfielders who are machines, runs all the time, and are ball winners. They don't have to be creative. But what Ten Hag is trying to build up like a 6, 8, 10. But when you saw it in the first couple of games when he played Mason Mount and Bruno, they were too similar, and we didn't have the legs, and Casemiro got overrun all the time. And when Bruno plays with such a high of a risk, it makes us unbalanced, and that's a problem I see in this squad. So actually, I was hoping that we could see Casemiro and Amrabat play with Bruno, or like 2 more defensively solid midfielders and Bruno. Then we would probably utilize Bruno at his best. But at the current midfield, when we have McTominay and Amrabat, I'm not sure if they are. I don't know if they complement Bruno at his best. So I see it from another side that he's actually a big risk. I talk about the half turn. He turns into the player with the ball and loses the ball a lot of the time, and he tries the one-touch flick over the back 4. And how many times does he succeed? Yeah, he gets assists, he gets goals, but he also gets a lot of attacks against us. So I think Ten Hag, and I always said that Bruno has to control his game. He's too I don't know. He tries too hard sometimes, and that's the problem. But as I said in the beginning of the show, he's a key player. and he's starting to be in form. So as long as Bruno is in form, he knows how to balance the Hollywood passes.
Jarvis, like for a pass to look beautiful, for a pass to be a pass, there has to be somebody who gives the pass and also somebody who receives the pass. Otherwise, it's an incomplete pass. Otherwise, the Hollywood pass is not so Hollywood because the other. So I actually would say, of course, there's moments where Bruno is somebody who looks like, he's acting his emotions, his temperament is a little bit taking the best of him, and then he's trying too hard. But also you could also make the argument that the other forwards are not trying enough. It's us thinking that Bruno is too risk averse when it's actually the forwards who are rewards conservative. High risk, high reward, and they're not really like looking for that to be that player who's there to receive. Because every little phase of play, you could actually, anytime when we have the ball and it's not in our box, you could make the argument that Bruno is able to create a goal scoring opportunity if he receives the ball and he has space. He's able to create that chance. But the question is the winger ready? Is the striker ready? And that's the whole miscommunication that always happens when Bruno has the ball. He's sometimes expecting that his teammates are ready. Maybe that's what they just talked about. Because I don't think like he sometimes would just go on a really crazy, I'm trying the Hollywood pass, trying the final pass every single time we get the ball for no reason. This guy is quality. We've seen what he does for Portugal. We've seen it's not like he's not able outside the foot, inside the foot, Jarvis. He's able to find the pass. So it's like the forwards have to be ready to know that, in this moment when Bruno gets the ball, I have to be ready. And then if they're not ready, then he looks like he's just wasting possession. So I feel like he's one of our most misunderstood players because of the teammates that he has, and sometimes that really, really makes him look horrible. You have to give creative license to a certain particular player more than other to have more creative freedom than all the other players, and you can't say, everybody has enough creative freedom. You have to say this person, you're the one who's going to try the most for your forwards or for your other midfielders if you're able to see the third man run, So anyway, that's just my feeling.
I believe you make an excellent argument, and to be clear, I'm not saying that Bruno is a bad player. He has extremely high qualities, and he's probably one of the best creating midfielders in the world. The problem with, as I speak, he plays with high risk, and when you have a player who plays with a high risk, it's not the same as being creative, playing with a high risk, and you see, for example, Pep Guardiola. He has a ban in his team to play on the half turn. None of the City players turn with the ball when they are marked with the defender in their back. They always play the support pass. And because Guardiola, he hates playing with high risk. It's about controlling the game, controlling the ball, never lose the ball. And this is what Guardiola is telling his players. For example, with the English super talent young guy in Manchester City. I lost his name at the moment.
Phil Foden.
For example, Phil Foden didn't get to play in the beginning in Manchester City because he was in England. A lot of the game is about high tempo. So when you receive the ball, you turn and try to attack. It's not Pep's style of football. And I believe this is also what Ten Hag wants to implement. So in a way, I think Bruno makes Ten Hag styles unbalanced. And I'm not taking a dig at Bruno, but it's the way we play and how he play with the high risk. So this is just my argument, like from a footballing perspective. It's not against Bruno.
I hear it.
Can I bring some stats?
Please.
Premier League appearances 36, goals 47, assists 35. So that's a goal or assist nearly every game. 70 was it 70, 81. So yeah, it's more. Big chances created 77, crosses 616, accurate long balls 469, shots 382, hit woodwork 15, blocked shots 111, tackles 229, clearances 132, recoveries 698. So there's over an errors leading to goal. That for me, all those stats, yes, he makes mistakes, but if you don't try, if you don't shoot, you don't score. Simple as that. If you don't try a pass, what I don't like at the moment is the little flicks that he's trying. You know, it's like, let's play a controlled pass. I agree, Jarvis. I don't like the little flicks he's trying. That's like the Hollywood flick, not the Hollywood pass, the Hollywood flick. You know, it's flick it over, you know, catch it as it comes over, flick it over your head, try and get it out to the wing. But when you do see that little sort of layoff flick sort of thing, where you're just almost cushioning the pass, rolling it into the path of the next player, absolute fantastic. You can see great goals like that in the Premier League every weekend. So for me, all those stats are read out for Fernandes in answer to the question that was asked earlier. That is the exact reason why he's in the team.
Yeah.
Can we move on? 1 hour 47. Let's get some score predictions.
Can I just get a final word when it comes to this discussion? Because when it comes to stats,
go for it, mate.
this is what I love. You were mentioning Bruno's stats. This is. I will share this screen, and you will see FB referables compared to the top 5 leagues and his percentage in the league against all others. And if you can see here. The little number, I don't know if you can see it, but for example, expected assisted goals he's on the top 99% of the top 5 leagues in Europe. So his stats are incredible. But when it comes to, for example, here in yellow, you see pass completion. He's on the 31% of the top 5 league midfielders. Progressive carries, he don't carry the ball. He's on 17%. Take-ons, he don't dribble guys. He's on 18%. Progressive passes received there because he's not on the receiving end, but he has his weaknesses in his game, and this is what I address. If you compare him to, for example, James Maddison here, I haven't checked it. I'm just doing it on the. You can see he's performing actually quite similar. Progressive passes, he's on the 95%. Bruno was on the 99%, so Bruno is actually better. But for example, pass completion 39% on James Maddison, progressive carries 41%, progressive passes received 23. So yeah, you can see in this role, number 10 role, he's not that far off James Maddison. So in a way, yeah, you're probably right when it goes to the stats. But this is just my eye test to tell
how
me
is James Maddison on this on the take-ons, by the way, on the successful take-ons, because
take-ons.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I
bet it's a little bit better than Bruno, right?
Yeah, James take-ons is on 70%, top 70% successful take-ons. James Maddison. So compared to Bruno,
I think what we need to remember is he's a different style of player, isn't he? Bruno isn't a ball carrying style of player. He doesn't run with the ball. It's not his sort of style of play. He looks for the pass and he makes the pass, or he makes the run. He makes the run to create the space, or he gets into space to create the shot. So I think he's a different style of player. So I understand what you're doing, comparing it. But in terms of what Bruno brings to the game, what we're saying is we're lacking goals, and all the top stats that you've brought, the expected goal, etc. Again, it just backs up why we need him. And another reason from what we were saying earlier in the show, where if we play Bruno deeper, that's another risk because he isn't going to carry it out from the back. We need people to play the ball up to him, or not to come too deep. So yeah. But anyway, I think we've probably had a really good conversation on Bruno. I think hopefully the BAR room are happy with it. Do you want the last closing comments on it, Papi?
I mean, the last closing comment on it was just like Bruno has this one-touch culture with him that like I was talking to somebody just trying to just explain his availability and say he's one of those players that, you know, because if you don't try to take people on with the ball, you're most likely not going to get injured. You know, you're avoiding a lot of contact. So a lot of times Bruno is trying to play one pass and run into space. He's a link up type of player, which is what you were saying. And then, you know, so it was fascinating for me to just see the breakdown of characteristics that Jarvis had shared. And, you know, so that's why I was like, oh yeah, so it makes sense that James Maddison gets injured a lot more than Bruno Fernandes, because, you know, Bruno gets rid of the ball before you can even get to him. It's rare he gets that collision type of injury. Even though we did see it versus Luton Town, actually, it was a very rare moment. But anyway, guys, big up to you if you're just tuning in. It's been a very long discussion about Everton, Man United. Make sure you're hitting the like button as well and subscribing if you haven't done so. What's up, Jarvis?
Please do. About 38 likes, something like that.
Yeah.
Can we move on to score prediction?
We can. I can go first. I believe we will have a tough game.
So,
I think Everton.
Yeah, Room, if you start to send your scores through.
Yeah, VAR, get your predictions in. I can start with my prediction. I think it will be a tight game. I think we still will struggle scoring goals. Højlund is out. Martial is in, or Rashford at number 9. I don't believe we will score a lot of goals. Maybe we'll win 1-0. That's my prediction.
Phil, what do you say?
What do you think, Papi?
I
agree with Mark, actually. I think 2-0 United. 2-0 or 2-1. I think we can do it. I think Garnacho is getting in the goal scoring opportunities. I think Rashford we know Rashford's due a goal, and when he's not trying to take on the winger from the one-on-ones, which is what he seems to have lost all his belief in. If he's played in the middle, this is all based on ifs and buts. If he's played in the middle, I think that might be a chance for him just to try and make a run and get a tap in or something like that. So I think we can do 2-0 United.
All right, I hear it.
We've got lots of 2-0s, 2-1s. I'm going to try and bring them all up.
Okay, go ahead and bring the other ones up, because I have a bold prediction to make. As skeptical as I have been today, I have a very bold prediction to make.
If he starts with a 6.
Go ahead and read the other people's predictions. Neil Driscoll said what? 1-1? Neil, come
Box
on,
is
Neil.
saying Everton 0, United 1. Neil saying Riot saying Man United 2-1. Duncan saying 4-0 United. Wow, that'd be lovely. I'd love to see that. Milos Mitic is saying Man United 2-1. Lilish United is saying 2-1. Zoe's Media House, despite all the negativity in the VAR room, is saying 4-0 United. Love that. Mattia 2-1 United. Ivo Bosic saying 3-1 to Everton. They'll be fired up after the 10-point loss. 3-1. DJ Superfly saying 3-1 Everton. Come on, Rashford, laugh out loud. And then we've got Stephanie saying United nick it either 1-0 or 2-1. Bruno and or Anthony to score our goals. Stephanie saying 40 likes. Hit that like button, guys. Keep going. Keep seeing we can get up to 50 before the end of the show as we draw towards the close. Neil Driscoll saying, we've said Neil's. Mattia, always positive. That's why I support this club. He's saying 2-1. Just see if there's any more. Can we get 50 likes? Come on, say we can do it. Hard to say with our team selection every week. Completely agree. Yeah, over to you, Pappy. What do you think? Just
all right. Big shout out to you guys. If you just tuned in, make sure you're hitting the like button. Well, let's get it to 50 likes. Come on, guys. Well, also, So here we go. I'm about to just give you guys the rundown of how this game is gonna go versus Everton. So Everton and then Man United this side. Let's start with possession. All right, Everton. Let's just say that Everton is going to have 40% possession. Man United is going to have 60. Shots on target. Everton is going to have 4 shots, but only 1 on target. Man United is going to have 8 shots and 8 shots and 6 on target. Score prediction. Let's go to the score. The score is going to be
1-0 Everton.
1 goal. Man United is going to have 4 goals. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. 4-1. That is the score prediction from the whiteboard. Big shout out to you for tuning in to this very long discussion. What were you going to say?
I'm most interested in Pappy. Who's going to put the 6 on target? I want to know.
What? Say what?
Who's putting the 6 shots on target?
6 shots? Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Who's putting the 6 shots on target?
The 2 off target. The 2 off target is Anthony. All right. But Mason Mount is going to come in the side, score a goal. Højlund is going to get his first Premier League goal tomorrow. And also Marcus Rashford is going to come good for
Saturday.
us. So all those guys are going to share those goals. And then we're going to get 4. Lily says crazy stuff. I am saying this is the future. You're hearing it here on MUFC Realist TV and also Football Power Hour. I'm co-streaming to my channel at the same time. Hit the like button on both. This is the score prediction. By the way, also make expected meltdowns. How many meltdowns? I think we're going to have 0 for Everton, and then Jarvis, Mick, and no, Phil is not 2 meltdowns. Expected. This is the XEM, expected meltdowns.
Pappy, you forgot about Bruno's meltdown.
Oh yeah, we gotta include Bruno. He gotta have a meltdown with the referee. So I guess 4 in total from the United expected meltdowns, but the score will be 4-1 with a lot of possession to us, the visitors, guys. Matty says, "What are you taking, Puppy?" Expect 4,000 tears from the Scousers box. Yo, big shout out to you, Mox. We should have a section for expected tears. Expected Scouse tears. How many? Oh, VAR decisions. Dodgy expected VAR decisions. Jarvis, do you know who the referee is?
No, I can check if the referee is appointed yet.
This one is
John Brooks.
Well, let's know the name of the referee before we give the expected VAR. Dodgy.
John Brooks, I believe.
Dan Brooks. Okay, the good thing is that name is not popular. So the whole thing about it being a referee is if you are a popular referee, chances are you're a bad referee. That's my take. If you're a referee, we should not know your name. You should have a good game. We shouldn't be asking who's the referees, what kind of brown paper bag did he receive? John Brooks, I don't know much. I'm not familiar with your game. So because of that, I'm just gonna say 0 dodgy decisions. Where I optimistic to say we're gonna have a very, very good refereeing decision and VAR day tomorrow. On Sunday.
Saturday.
He have had 8 games appearances this season and 4 red cards given.
Oh,
is it?
Oh. John
Yeah.
Brooks. I remember maybe like he's refereed a game last season. Maybe I feel like the name is vaguely familiar, but it's not as popular as the Michael Olivers. And it's Mary says Papi gets the ref address. Yo, our like count has gone up. Big shout out to the people that have just hit the like button. If you do not like this prediction, I don't think you're gonna like anything ever in your life. But subscribe if you haven't done so. And also hit the notification bell. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the Everton Manchester United preview with Phil and Jarvis. And also Mick came in through at the beginning. Is Mark around at all, by the way?
Yeah, Mark, you're going to advertise it tomorrow morning?
Hey guys, don't forget we got the manager's press conference tomorrow at 1:45 p.m. UK time, guys. Stay tuned for that. We'll be here and be square. Me and Mick will be doing the presser. Good show, guys. I'm not much comments. I gave my prediction already. You guys gave a top stream. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. And Poppy, I love your prediction.
Thank you.
It's a little bit nutter, but I also think we were gonna score a couple goals myself. I just think
guys, Mark, our season starts tomorrow. Okay, you heard it here first, man. Yo, we got 11 likes also on Football Power Hour. Make sure you get the like count up over there too. By the way, we I think tomorrow we'll tune in tomorrow, right, Mark?
It's Sunday is the game, not so.
No, to the news show tomorrow. You have a news show.
Yeah, the news show. Yeah. No, I don't have the news show in the morning. The news show is canceled because we have the manager's presser tomorrow. So that's why. I wanted to have the news show, but advice from the gaffer says it's best to have just the presser tomorrow. So guys, enjoy the morning. It won't be with me in the morning, but you'll see us at midday for the manager's press conference.
Cool.
The most certainly.
What was your score prediction? Sorry, Mark, I missed it.
My score prediction was 2-0 because I think the team has we've been creating a lot of chances more and more each in the last couple of games, but I'm not too sure because I think Hoyland might not play. If Hoyland was starting, then I'm gonna ramp up my score line to maybe the same thing as Poppy's. But right at this point, since I don't think Hoyland is starting, I think we'll score 2 goals for sure. I think Bruno will come up. I also think Anthony will have the goal. Maybe the
last
ultimate
question.
Goal.
Oh, Phil, you were saying
last question.
Something.
Who's your midfield 3?
My midfield 3 would be Bruno, and I would start Kobe Mainoo next to Amrabat because I think Mainoo has been playing really well. He's been kept out of the starting the team, the senior team because he has just came back from injury. It's about 3 weeks since he's been playing regular football for the under-18s and for England. So I think now is about time where Ten Hag might reintroduce him into the squad just for a game to see how he plays, because I don't think he will feature in Galatasaray game because he will be playing for the under-18s against Galatasaray away.
He also got 2
Will
assists.
we get a penalty, Mark? I just literally I just had this vision of us. I was just asking if you think we'll get a penalty versus Everton because they've given away 3 penalties so far this season. The most.
Since you've said that, it's very possible. Our team has been doing pretty well, and I think if Anthony Martial starts striker or Marcus Rashford, I think with the pace going at the Everton defense, I think it's going to give them problems. Even though they are a low block, they tend to expand when they go on the counter attack and play high. And we are a team. Even though we're playing possession based, we always look for that counter strike. You know what I mean? So I just think it's something to look forward to. The team is going in. We've gotten players back from injuries. I think United is stronger. I think the team coming back from international break is in a positive. I think lots of the players has performed well. The ones who did go on international break, they performed really well. And, maybe 1 or 2 of them came back with knocks, but I think we should have enough strength to overcome Everton on Sunday.
We will be there. By the way, can you
just to answer Stephanie's thanks, Mark. Just to answer Stephanie's question, we believe that Wan-Bissaka will make it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had a
Yeah,
question
we
for
believe that
Jarvis.
Wan-Bissaka might make it because he was reported to be having some sort of illness or something. So yeah, go for it. What's your question?
Can you please translate what Miller said?
Me.
Yeah, Jarvis. Are you because
Papi,
you're
Papi,
closer to
Carlos
Miller's
Ancelotti.
language. I know
Guardiola.
you don't speak it, but you're the closest.
You know, guys, I wanted to ask a
Tobias
question though
Nabioli.
about the team selection that you guys made really quickly. Sorry. I wanted to ask how come you guys didn't suggest buying there for rotation? I mean, I know Andre Onana is said to be not injured, but when he had a scare with his doctor, don't you think it would be good to give him a rest? Also because of AFCON
I do, but
upcoming and
I think it would be good, but I just don't think Ten Hag will, because Annan has just started to find a bit of form, find a belief after that penalty save, and I think to take him out of the team now would be a bigger risk. You've got to play, like we were saying earlier, you've got to play your best team, and he is believed to be obviously a better keeper than the Turkish keeper by Tinder, or however you pronounce it. So I think he deserves his chance, and if he does go to AFCON, then it'll be great to see him stand up and take his chance and fight for that number one spot. But I think for now, I think Ten Hag is going to start Onana because he needs to play his best 11. And if we're in the league, League Cup, something like that, you might see something like that maybe.
I mean, we only have the FA Cup because we're out of the Carabao. So I was just thinking that, maybe he could do it a game. I mean, Everton is not the best attacking team, so I was thinking it might be a game where you could give him a chance because he's going to need a few games ahead of Christmas because come January, he's number one, like 6 games. You know what I mean? So I was just thinking on that perspective. But yeah, it's fair enough.
Like we were saying earlier,
Onana has done well. There's nothing to do with Onana's form. Really, it was just basically for rotation and his injury.
I just don't think he'd needs to get this chance.
Yeah,
I think it's like if Onana suddenly got injured, then Batinder would be straight in there, obviously, and he doesn't need a warm up game because your warm up game you're thrown in at the deep end. You just got to deal with it, and that's what a number 2 goalkeeper is. It might be in the middle of a match, you might get an injury, suddenly you've got to come on and you've got to perform, you've got to take your chance. And I think when the AFCON comes, if that does occur and Onana goes away, there'll be a little bit of training going on behind the scenes and probably a behind the scenes game or something like that to get him used to the team. And we don't even know who the back 4 will be because he's been injured and some might be back and some might be away and who knows. But I don't think he's going to train him in games to try to get him ready because at the end of the day, why risk him in the likes against Chelsea, Newcastle, Liverpool that we've got coming up when, if you're going to give him a run in those 6 games sort of thing and see how he performs when you've no choice. I know what you're saying, but that's just my thoughts.
Yeah,
fair enough.
That's a very, very important question. It's like, when is the right time to integrate this goalkeeper that we want, we need, we know we're going to need at some point in the season? And Ten Hag has to kind of make that decision and make that call. And this was if Onana was injured, I think he would go with Bayindir. But my opinion, it feels like Ten Hag has been dying to figure out this defensive cohesion unit. So at the end of the day, we're seeing Luke Shaw coming back. Wan-Bissaka is now in the fold, and Ten Hag is dying to kind of get that chemistry going between Onana and that regular back 4 that as soon as Lisandro Martinez is back, he's going to be trying to build that chemistry. And I don't know how Bayindir fits in the picture. Do we have another little cup game that's not Champions League in December? I think not. I don't know.
Just the FA Cup's the next one, isn't it?
Yeah. And whenever the next FA Cup game, probably that's the next time where we might see Bayindir. But at the moment, Mark, you raise a very, very important question. And
there's a twist. Well, it might be what if, right? Yeah, Papi. If I don't want to say it, but if we lose against Galatasaray, then we might as well just play him against Bayern, give him a chance in Champions League. Why not? Because you're out there, aren't you? Nothing to lose.
Right.
Just a thought.
Right.
If it goes that way, but I don't want that to happen. Yeah. But, anyway, guys, it's been 2 hours 10 minutes. It's time to close the show. I just want to.
Can we answer the last question that's in the chat?
VAR room.
Phil. We gotta. Stephanie is important people. We have to answer this question, and I know the answer for it. That's why I want to answer it. 13th of January until the 11th of February. That's when AFCON takes place. So, Stephanie, that is the answer for you and anybody that is wondering when we're going to be missing Onana, Amrabat, and Hannibal.
Possibly Wan-Bissaka.
And possibly that Congo conversation is happening.
Yes.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been asked
by
Congo if he, decision is yet to be made, but possibly Wan-Bissaka. Yeah.
I think he's gonna go. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah, I don't think Southgate is gonna. Yeah. He should go for his development too. So anyway, guys, it's been such an amazing stream. Phil, you go ahead and close it up.
Been
brother.
A pleasure. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, guys. Thank you to everybody in the VAR room. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for your feedback. We don't show them all. We can't possibly show every single comment, but we try to read as much as possible as we're doing the show. We try to read through it. We try to act upon the feedback that you provide and the comments that you make. So without you guys, we just couldn't do it. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all your thoughts, all your comments, all your shares. We don't blame about Hannibal, so no loss there. Sorry, that was something else. And yeah, obviously, hopefully we'll get a win. We'll get 3 points on the board. Look forward to seeing you all. Thank you for the memberships that were given throughout the show as well. Thank you, Pappy, Jarvis, and Matt for joining the show. I think you've been doing in the background as well. Thank you, Stephanie, the VAR room. Been a pleasure. It's been great to have you all on, and I will see you. I won't see you next week. I'm not available next week, but I will see you all soon. I'll see you on the other side. Pappy, we'll just quickly give a quick shout out to yourself. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and people in the chat before you leave, go to the non-live comment section after the show and get your lineup predictions in. And I will be giving you a like and a comment on every lineup prediction and tell you my opinion.
Also, I know Zoe's media house from Men United Agenda. Big up to Zoe. This is your first time here. Thank you for subscribing to MUFC Realist TV. That's it's amazing to see you over here too. So big shout out to you, Zoe. And hit the like button and give a little comment at the end of the show as well. It helps the algorithm and all that stuff. So big shout out to you guys.
Yeah, and we start.
Thanks, everyone.
And the show with the famous words: peace, love, and banana.
Peace, love, and bananas.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.
Guys, good show.